your business, please don't get involved. I got money on my mind, tryna let it go. I just splashed on my cash like I got loads. I'm about
Flag football in the Olympics. I mean, what do you think of that?
Well, I like it, but we got to see how many teams are into it. You know, we take it as the nice thing because flag football is pretty popular in the United States because, you know, most of the folks that played sports and didn't go beyond high school, you know, a lot of communities have parks that has teams and they play quite often. So for them to put that in the Olympics, I wonder how that's going to happen because some of the professional football players might want to do it because they don't have professional football in the Olympics. So you might have some of these guys who want to play in the Olympics and play football, you know, the flag football in the Olympics. And I think that'll be a good thing too.
Well, it says here, Jalen. Yeah, it says Jalen Hurts was named the sports ambassador for the flag football Olympics in 2028, which is going to be here in Los Angeles. The city is getting ready for it. They're preparing for it as we speak. And I'm looking forward to it to see which international teams are going to show up and play because, you know, a lot of countries around the world, they love football. Of course, America, they call it rugby in certain other countries, and then they call it soccer. Soccer or football with a U instead of two O's. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, man. You know, because the Olympics is really introducing a lot of new sports, like extreme sports, like skateboarding. We had a gold medalist skateboarder from this last Olympics over in Paris, man, which was impressive. You know, the BMX bike.
Barry, see, that's how he became so elusive playing flag football because, you know, they had to put their hands on and snatch the flag off you. And that's where he get all those moves from because when they reach out, he would shift his body where you can't snatch the rag. So when it would kind of tackle him, it was even harder for people because he was trying to make sure you don't even get your hands on him.
Correct. Right.
Well,
so, yeah, I mean, you know, if you think about it, and it's not as risky. I mean, it's not as risky as a heavily contacted sport like football, sport. I mean, because anytime you have two humans colliding into each other, sometimes up to 20 miles an hour, that's just like getting hit by a vehicle or some type of object. It's devastating on the human body. So I would say that's something to look out for. And then they have female flag football as well. So we'll be looking at that as well because we're happy that they're starting to include women in a lot of these sports in the Olympics now. It matters because women are just as competitive as men, in my opinion. There may be a difference in strength, you know, sometimes size, but overall, I think women should have an opportunity to play sports like flag football. You know, they talked about years ago, this was probably 20 years ago, having bodybuilding in the Olympics, but somehow that fell through because I guess, you know, the doping part of it, they were trying to figure out how to get around that. So, you know,
90% of them guys are pushing that stuff. 90% of that is, you know, all substance, man, because you can work your tail off in that gym. You won't get the same results if you start.
You've reached the end of another episode of the DC Stewart Sports Talk podcast. Be sure to connect with us at Facebook and Twitter.com. Your voice is important, so head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. Catch our next episode.